You are very welcome back to the channel. Here we are at the Drumlough Presbyterian Church Easter Saturday Tractor Rally, and we're here on the crossroads of the Tullynore Road, and we're going to see a whole host of tractors go past here. So there's a whole crowd of people here waiting to see, and our first man up is a very large New Holland. We're getting ready to go here. There must be about 100 tractors in the church car park. I've walked around them all. They're getting ready for their tea and their lunch afterwards. And it's going to be a great day here to see all the tractor rally. The tractor rally. It's a very Irish thing here. There they are, giving us a wave. There's the New Holland away past first. Here's Bobby on his Massey Ferguson 35X. Here is Massey Ferguson 352. Massey Ferguson 240. Here. Say hello to me here. Massey Ferguson 398. They've got a big New Holland here. They've got another New Holland here coming. This man's smoking a pipe. There's the run. Here we go here. Here's a grey Fergie. The grey Fergie from the namesake of Harry Ferguson, who only just grew up, he only just grew up in Growell, a townland right beside us here. Here's a Massey Ferguson 135, that's my favourite tractor with the roll cab on the top. Here's a Ford 7000. Here's a boy flying along here in a Ford 7610. They're all two-wheel drive tractors. Two-wheel drive, you can see the wee small wheel in the front. Now here's a four-wheel drive tractor, big New Holland. Here we come, here's this a wee 135 with the cab. Flying along there. Should have been in third gear all along. Little bit of delay here until someone else comes around here. There's a few Massey Ferguson tractors, I believe. This is an international. Normally Massey Ferguson's the main red one. There's an international, a 485. Here's a Learner Massey Ferguson 390, four-wheel drive. Here's a more modern Massey Ferguson 64, 65. Here's an older, I think this is a 35. Do the wee tidy up there. And there's a New Holland 7840. So we've seen lots of blue and red tractors. If it's not red, leave it in the shed. Or if it's not blue, it won't do. But of course, here's the first green machine, the John Deere 6130. Flying past here. Here's a yellow one. This seems to be more of a construction type. It's a Massey Ferguson. Pulling a quad on the back. Here's our first big truck. Our first big truck from Sloan Transport, transporting your goods throughout Ireland and Scotland. There's another Sloan Transport from Jumara, another Sloan Transport truck from Jumara, and another one. Having a bit of fun there. Here are all these trucks here. Sorry, here's good fun. Here's a red tractor, a case. So as I said, most red tractors would be Massey Ferguson. You'd have some red tractors that would be international, and then you'd have some cases as well. All the greens are typically John Deere or Fence, and then the blue tractors would be generally Ford or the more modern New Holland. You might have some Leylands in there as well. Yellow tractors could be Marshall or perhaps some of the construction Massey Ferguson tractors. Here's a case, big case. Here's a green John Deere. Here's a John Deere with a loader on the front, and now we're back to the trucks. A. Gibson and Co. A. Gibson and Son. So there they are flying up the Tullynore Road. Here's a Comer lorry pulling a Fergie. Here's Jumara Vintage Club giving us a wave. Don't know what the point of that is for sure. There's a rare tractor. You don't see a Crystal tractor. There's a Land Rover. John Deere. There's New Holland coming, then another John Deere, then another New Holland, another New Holland. This one's got the front loader on. This is the big beast here, the John Deere 6195. There's a New Holland here. James Ward. Here's a Ford. Here's New Holland. So as I said, we're here on Easter Saturday. This is the Drumlough Presbyterian Church annual tractor rally. It's just so happened that it's fallen on the Saturday of Easter between Good Friday and Resurrection morning, or Easter Sunday. It's great that the church has reached out to the community here, and it's hosted a magnificent event with hundreds of people coming to have some fun on a dreary, wet Irish spring day, trying to enjoy the creation and the beautiful world that we live in. But they're enjoying taking their tractor out here in rural Ireland, especially in conservative country areas. Instead of going down to the pub, oftentimes you'll go out in your tractor for a tractor run or a tractor rally. Here's one of the more wee vintage internationals. The cabbies under it acts as a safety mechanism. It's a roll bar. It's a more modern New Holland. Here's a Ford. Got the gear wrong there. Here's a two-wheel drive Massey Ferguson 398. Oh, very friendly. Here's a Zader. Again, not too common a name, you see. John Deere. Everyone's having a wave here. They're waving at all their fans here. She needs to be careful. I'm near to hit that car. There's a New Holland with a loader. Have you been counting the tractors going past? It must be 100 by now. So we're just here on the side of the Tullynore road here, just off Rafferty's Hill. Very, very close to the Drumlough crossroads where the church is. Here's a man cycling past. This is the minister. Are you the last one? New Holland here. Imagine that, a minister on a bike. There's the minister on his bike cycling down here at Drumlough. I think that might be it. I think that could be perhaps it for I think that is it for the tractor run here. So if you've enjoyed the content of the video, please do subscribe to the channel for more. Over and out here from a beautiful wet day here at the Drumlough Presbyterian Church. Easter Saturday tractor rally.